Dinner at Alejandro's. Do you have friends from a different country or culture? Do your friends like the same or different foods, music, or games? Alejandro's family came from Argentina, Tommy's mom said as she dropped him off at Alejandro's house. They speak Spanish and may cook Spanish foods. Watch and listen. You will learn a lot. I will, Tommy promised. The boys practiced soccer in the backyard until Mrs. Salas called them for dinner. Tommy didn't tell Alejandro that he was worried about eating food that was different than what he ate at home. He thought about the tasty roast beef and mashed potatoes his mom made. He thought about her spaghetti and meatballs, too. What would he do if he didn't like the food, he wondered. He did not wish to offend the Salas family. Tommy can sit next to me, Alejandro's grandfather said. He understood that Tommy was as nervous about trying new foods as he was. I live in Argentina, and the United States can be confusing, he said. We will help each other. I'm Alejandro's abuelo, Alejandro's grandfather told Tommy. Abuelo is the Spanish word for grandfather. Alejandro calls me abuelo, and you can call me abuelo too. As Alejandro's mother placed a plate of salad on the table, his grandfather asked if the boys had fun practicing football. Tommy wanted to tell him that they had practiced soccer, but Alejandro replied, "It was fun. In Argentina, this game is known as football. In the United States, we call it soccer." Football or soccer, as you call it, is the national game of Argentina, Alejandro's grandfather explained as he smiled at Tommy. Tommy was happy to see the salad and a plate of bread on the table. He liked salad and bread. Alejandro's dad moved the bread dish aside to make room for a gigantic bowl of steaming yellow rice overflowing with shrimp and other vegetables. Tommy watched carefully. "Have you ever eaten this kind of rice?" asked Abuelo. "I like rice, Abuelo, but this rice looks different," said Tommy. Different foods can be delicious. This colorful rice dish is called paella. It has shrimp, a sausage called chorizo, peas, red peppers, and other vegetables in it. "I like both shrimp and vegetables," Tommy whispered. "I like sausage, too." Tommy listened, but it was hard to remember all the new words he was learning. When it was time to eat, Alejandro's dad served the food. The plates were stacked in front of him. "Tommy is our guest," he said, "so I will start with him. What will you have, Tommy?" Tommy glanced around the table. Everyone was waiting for him to choose the foods he wanted to eat, but he couldn't remember the word for the main dish. What could he do? Abuelo touched his arm gently. "Watch me and listen," he whispered. "Let us begin with me," Abuelo said. He leaned forward and studied the dishes. "I will have some paella, por favor." Por favor means please, Tommy. Tommy listened. Alejandro's dad scooped some paella onto Abuelo's plate. "Gracias," Abuelo said. Gracias means thank you. Now I will have some salad, por favor. I'll have a piece of pan, or bread, and a little of that. Abuelo waved his hand over the bread and another dish. Tommy watched and noticed that Abuelo did not point at the food. He moved his whole hand over the food he wanted. "And now for our guest," Alejandro's dad said after he had passed Abuelo his plate. "What would you like, Tommy?" "You can just say I'll have a little of everything," Abuelo whispered to Tommy. "Gracias. but I'd like to try the words, he told Abuelo. I will try a little paella, por favor, and some salad. He waved his hand over the bread dish. And a piece of pan. When everyone's plate was ready, Tommy tried a little of everything. All of it was tasty, but the paella was scrumptious. Gracias, Abuelo, Tommy said. It's fun to try new things and learn new words. De nada, Tommy, Abuelo answered. It's just as much fun teaching them.